At 40 weeks and 1 day pregnant, Emma thought her biggest worry would be labor pains. She was wrong. Her mother-in-law's emotional manipulation would prove far more exhausting than any contraction. Emma's pregnancy journey had been a roller coaster from the start. Halfway through nursing school, devastating morning sickness nearly derailed her dreams of becoming a nurse. While her husband Jake worked grueling night shifts to keep them afloat, Emma's mother traveled 7 hours from out of state, quietly stepping in to cook meals and maintain their home without being asked. Even before pregnancy, Emma's mom had been the steady, supportive presence who helped with household tasks during Emma's demanding studies. When Emma triumphantly graduated nursing school and earned her license despite the pregnancy challenges, she felt ready to tackle the next chapter: motherhood. But first, she and Jake needed to establish boundaries for their daughter's birth. Their plan was simple and reasonable. No visitors at the hospital during labor, and no house guests for the first week or two after bringing baby home. They wanted those precious early moments to bond as a new family of 3, to figure out breastfeeding, and to recover from what would be Emma's first childbirth experience. Emma's family received the news with grace. Her mother, despite having celebrated Emma's own birth with a waiting room full of relatives, immediately understood her daughter's different vision. "Whatever makes you feel safe and comfortable," she said warmly, proving that love means respecting boundaries. Jake's mother, Linda, had a dramatically different reaction. Her face crumpled with visible distress as they explained their wishes. She couldn't comprehend why they would want privacy when she herself hadn't even been the first to hold her own son. That honor had gone to her father. But she seemed to drop the subject, and Emma hoped they'd found peace. With Emma's parents staying with them during these final days, having traveled from distant states while Linda lived just 90 minutes away, the house buzzed with quiet anticipation. Emma's parents gracefully retreated to their room when Jake was awake, left the house entirely on his day off to give the couple alone time, and even agreed to get a hotel room the night before induction so Emma and Jake could have their final evening as a couple. Then came the phone call that shattered Emma's peace just days before her scheduled induction. Jake returned from his workout with troubled eyes. Linda and her mother had called him in tears, claiming they felt unfairly treated and left out. The jealousy in Linda's voice was palpable as she complained about Emma's parents' presence, suggesting the couple needed to grow up and not rely on family support. But her real fury was reserved for the hospital boundary. She simply could not accept being denied immediate access to her grandchild. Emma's heart sank as she watched her husband's torn expression. Despite months of agreeing to their plan, he now confessed he wanted the big happy family celebration his mother demanded. The emotional terrorism had worked. Feeling cornered and exhausted, Emma offered a compromise that made her stomach churn. Family could wait in the hospital waiting room, but she needed at least 2 hours of private bonding time before any visitors, and absolutely no one except she and Jake would hold their newborn daughter. Emma's family accepted this change with understanding and grace. Linda, however, remained unsatisfied, agreeing only reluctantly to wishes she deemed unfair. As Emma lay awake that night, her body preparing to bring new life into the world, she wondered if she was being unreasonable. Here was her own mother, who had driven hundreds of miles and quietly supported them without drama or demands, being compared to a woman who lived nearby but chose emotional manipulation over respect. The irony wasn't lost on Emma. Linda accused her of favoritism while Emma's parents had actually earned their welcome through years of selfless support, respectful boundaries, and unconditional love. They had never demanded anything, never cried to guilt their way into moments that weren't about them, never made Emma's pregnancy about their own needs and feelings. In a surprising twist, Linda later apologized unprompted and decided to stay home rather than take the waiting room compromise she had cried to receive. Perhaps she finally recognized that true love means putting the new mother's needs above your own desires, but the damage was done. Emma's final days of pregnancy, which should have been filled with excitement and peace, had been hijacked by someone else's emotional needs. She wondered how many other new mothers faced the same heartbreaking choice between their own comfort and keeping the peace with manipulative in-laws. What do you think? Was Emma being unfair to her mother-in-law? Or was Linda's behavior completely out of line? How would you handle a situation like this? Share your thoughts below.